I got up every next thing.
Where are you, girl? Anyone there? Hello, people. I'm just putting an headset on to listen. I think it's not charged up though. To listen to this video again. Work or what? Oh my gosh! That means I gotta put this speaker on. I've already got in trouble the other day. Need to know the ingredients again. So.
Ingredients, because I had to find a grain that was sufficiently low in fibre in order to cut out the mustard. So I've ended up with this loaf. Now, believe you me, it takes 5 minutes to make. And there are a few things that you have to do well.
Gonna try and make that bread again. I tidied a bit of that kitchen there. You might not notice it because of that, but that mainly is coffee and herbal teas. And that's my flowers. So.
So, the next thing you absolutely must do is it
250, did you say?
And for that, I use a NutriBullet. I use the flat. The next thing you absolutely must do is it has to be ground very finely and pound them off just the right amount of linseed and just the right amount of water. Now that means measurement. I'm not a natural measurer. I tend to chuck in a hand with and chuck in a hand with. You can't do that. You have to measure. So get yourself some scales. Turn them on, and
You can come in a bit further actually. I was charging. 250 grams of linseed. So we want 125. We're doing a small one. I've just vacuumed. What am I doing? What's a bot? I've just vacuumed. 125 grams. We're doing a small amount, but we don't know what it's going to taste like. We've already thrown. Well, we haven't thrown it away yet. We did this one with just linseed, ground with water, and it was undercooked, so it definitely didn't taste right in the mouth, or it didn't have the right texture. So we're trying again. But this time we're trying it with the Sicilian husks because it acts as a binder or something. So we're going to try that today. Just got to figure out the water, and we're going to overcook it today as well. We didn't overcook it the other day. So, and we're going to do a Sunday lunch.
I use the flat blade, and I do it in 2 batches. So we do half of it at a time.
NutriBullet. Half the amount, 250 grams is the right amount. I'm doing 125.
We have a minerally corrected bread. Screw that on and then grind it. This doesn't make a nasty noise, but you grind it until it starts to castle up the side.
And now, today we're using Sicilian husks. See if this does anything different, eh?
Then you've done enough. So knock that in. That's the first half of the flour that goes in. Exactly the same the second time round. If you do it once, it doesn't work. It seems to hollow out at the bottom. So that's why I do it in 2 batches. Again, put that on and
Gotta do this bit. Forgive the noise. That's that done. No salt today. So last time we did it with linseed only and water. This time we're doing it with linseed and Sicilian husk, which so say might give it a more bready texture. So we're going to try that, and then the next time we do it, we're going to put either a bit of salt in it. There's so many things you can put in it, because I didn't like the taste either, but then it was well undercooked. So we've got to figure it out bit by bit, baby. So let's figure out how much water.
about half a minute. Half full. So as I say in the book, the machine has to slow down and grow stress with the effort. So I tried doing it by hand, it doesn't work brilliantly me. So knock.
So we've done we've tidied a bit of this kitchen now. We've vacuumed our hallway out. My house is a bit of a mess. I've lost a bit of motivation, or whatever you want to call it, energy. So we're trying to get it back. We've got a meeting tomorrow. That forces me to get up early, and then that means I got to do stuff in the day. Let's hope it's not raining now. Better not be freaking raining. Gotta buy some more Celtic salt, people! Some more Celtic salt, people! Better keep the bag in case I forget what brand I bought. I always try and keep buying the same stuff if I don't have a problem with it. Got cramps in my leg because I've been eating sugar because of the stuff. It's all related to my liver. But I've noticed my liver doesn't feel as achy when I stretch now. Just a bit achy there. But I've got cramps, so it's weird. I never had cramps 4 days ago. I had that about a week ago and I'm getting cramps again, which means it's my liver. But my liver's feeling less, it only gets tense there. Whereas the other day it was getting tense about there. Like there. So I don't know. I don't know. Fuck it. Right, Sunday lunchtime, people. And we've got to make the bread as well. So my homemade cabbage, purple cabbage, red cabbage, what you want to call it, purple. Savoy, is it Savoy? And kale. So there's some cabbage and kale, some leek. Don't make the leek. I made it once, but I can't bother keep making everything. You know, there's my own made cabbage and my own made leek. That's proper good for me, that stuff in there. I'm not kidding. And it's got Celtic salt in it as well. There's some filtered water. Some filtered water. Got some unorganic asparagus. We don't actually like asparagus, but it's good for you. So we eat it. Yesterday's stream we prepped some carrots, some organic carrots again. We prepped them up. Cut them up yesterday, some organic ones, put some herbs on them. And I put olive oil on it again because it didn't seem to affect it. So, cramping my leg again. Cramp again. Right, that's that. Carrots done. We did have to buy some cheap sprouts. So they're not probably that good for me because they're proper cheap. But we ran out, so we had to buy some as an emergency. A few sprouts in there. Better than eating a chocolate bar. It's going to be better for me than eating a chocolate bar. So, I said it the wrong way. Right, so we ran out of roast sweet potato, so we're going to have to use our chips. That looks like bloody parsnip. Didn't get any left. Bit of parsnip there. That's parsnip at all. The hell? Purple broccoli. Pretty good for you, baby. Good quality one as well. Purple broccoli, people! Alright. Some homemade. Some purple broccoli, decent quality one. Crappy sprouts. Homemade organic carrots. Crappy sprouts, cheap ones. But it's better than eating a chocolate bar, isn't it? And asparagus is not the best quality, but it's pretty freaking thick. So. Celtic salt in there. Kaboomshke. Meatless sausages, people. Meatless sausages. We don't have to, we can actually get these sausages that I keep saying about, are absolutely lush, and I mean that. I can get them in a bag now, so I don't have to buy the boxes anymore. So I found a supermarket that does it in a bag. But we got 6 packs. That's how much we like them. They are that good. They are that nice. No joke, people. No joke. They really are that nice. Anyone want to say hi? Just to let the chat move. I ain't got to keep putting my finger on it. Oh no, I put that in there. Bummer. Hang on. Who is it? Yo! Back. Anybody going to say hi? Just so it moves? Well, somebody's going to say hi in a minute, then somebody else is going to say hi, and somebody else is going to say hi, and I'm not going to be looking. Ah, ah. Right, we've got to figure out how much water for the bread. The bread is powdered up. When I put the bowl.
I never washed this up. This hasn't been washed up for 18 months. It doesn't seem to lose it. And then you need exactly the right amount of water. And so what I do, because we need 270 mils of water, and actually the best way to do it is to weigh it. So,
270 mils of water. 270 mils of water. You can remember that for me, chat, can't you? Thanks very much. You're my heroes. 270 mils of water, people. some fairy lights on, people. No highs. Not one person. Well, I'm going to say hi myself. No, at least it moves. Yes! I don't have to look at it anymore. I can move on. $270 mils of water. So what's half of 270? 135. $136. That'd do. That'd do. Hello, entertainment. How are you, bud? Somebody's chatting. Hello, how are you? Hi, mate. How are you? I'm alright. I'm alive, baby. Bit crampy. Nice to see you too, bud. I think it needs to go a bit higher. It's a bit of a struggle. No, done. So, we're trying our bread again. We didn't like how it finished the other day. It was a bit undercooked inside, so we're definitely going to cook it for an hour and a quarter today. Because our oven doesn't get that hot, I don't think. And we're trying it with the binder, Vegetarian husk, to see if it gives it a slightly different texture. And we're only doing half the size, because in case it ends up being bad again, we're not wasting the stuff. We can do another sort of 4 or 5 attempts, figuring out what we need to add to it to make it taste better. So there it is at the moment. I need some water. Some water. 135 mils. What was it? 125 grams of linseed, golden linseed. 1 tablespoon of Vegetarian husk. Let's see if this does anything different. Just taking other people's ideals. Somebody's got one way of doing it, and then somebody else has added something, and then somebody else has said something else. And you're not supposed to knead it because you're adding fat to it or something. And then we're going to cook our Sunday lunch. We're letting the oven get hot. Can you see the bread? Literally 3 ingredients. This takes 5 minutes to make. In theory, it does. Once you remember the amount you got to put in it, and you got the scales out ready, and boom, boom, boom. Because I'm not remembering it at the moment. 250 gram for a bigger loaf. And what was the other one? 270 mils of water. So, I would say got on a meeting tomorrow. Always the next day. Some butter, and you can always add butter into it later date as well, I think. So just keep doing this until it tastes what I like, or it's got the right texture. Let's get this up a bit. Smash the like button, somebody. We've got 20 viewers. You're all watching. Just somebody drop a like. Come on. It's not hard, you know, people. It's a button on the same screen that you're watching me on. Come on. Hit that like button. If you don't want to comment, at least smash the like button. Oh, I got to get that off. It's a bit dirty. Keep it up. I am, mate. It helps me eat healthy. It literally inspires me to do this, whereas before I didn't need the inspiration. This was just a side thing. I might as well film it, you never know. It's like a journal, isn't it, you know? Once you finally... I used to write in a journal. I don't write in my journal anymore, so this is kind of a journal. A video diary journal. Right, that's that done. So now, we must not knead it. That's a rule that she states. Don't knead it. So I'm not going to knead it. I'm going to take it out of the bowl and I'm going to shape it, apparently. Come on, people. 13 people watching this long? There was actually 20. Somebody hit the like button. Come on. I'm not kneading it, I'm just shaping it. Alright, it's only half the size of what I would want it. So, in case it goes all wrong. Oh shit, there's a bit there. How am I going to get that bit in there? Oh, I saw it, we'll have to throw that bit away. Never mind. And basically, drop it in there. Done. We're going to let it do an hour today. Right, so... Top of the oven. Put them in there. Quarter of an hour, 20 minutes for that, and then we put the sausages in. That means they go in for 30. And then we got to put the bread in at the end. Wow, that many people watching. No one wants to leave a free like button that doesn't cost anything. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Right, in that case, you've inspired me to do some press-ups. And we haven't got slippy feet today, they're kind of like, the floor feels a bit tacky. I might have sweaty feet. You've inspired me to do, if I don't get any thumbs up, I'm doing some press-ups. Bit wider. Done. Now you've inspired me to do some press-ups. Get some good energy inside my own body. Throw that away. You've inspired me. Still no thumbs up. You've inspired me to do some grips. I appreciate it. Hey. Hey. Now the arm. I concentrate on different parts of my arm. Done. Thank you for the watch time wherever you were. Don't forget you're helping with watch time. 4 people just left, so. There we are, done. You inspired me, people. basting these sausages. I got to figure out when I made that honey garlic tincture. It's got to be a couple of weeks now. I got to figure that out. It's all good, baby. I think we've dealt with a couple of the trolls on the channel now. We kind of know that I'm not a bonker, and I know their little game. So it's all good, baby. You know, you've inspired me to take some healthy vitamin D. There you go. Thank you. I haven't done any squats for a few days. Should be trying to do some now. Been doing some kind of, I don't know what you call it, like some leg overs. Keep me joints going. We'll have a bit of support. I learnt this off a 101-year-old lady. She does these exercises in her kitchen every morning. And I'll stretch my legs out a bit. You're inspiring me, people, with all these thumbs up. Wow. I know it's not 100 kilo weight on my back, but at least it's a form of exercise, especially for my knees and my hips and my quads. Don't think it's my hamstrings. Had to, so I don't want them to I can really pump your quads, that can. Can never see the numbers. I think that's over 225. Can't quite read it. Let's wash that up. We played a little bit of that game last night. It's alright graphically, but some of the buttons don't work properly. Or I'm doing something wrong. It doesn't actually take that much to make the bread, but I've got to enjoy it. So we could keep trying until we like it. Yeah, well, exercise, bit of exercise. We're getting closer to, we're already halfway through our little, what would you call it? Crossing a threshold, a journey. We're over halfway. We're just a couple of things to do now. Recreate my good habits, which is easy. I'm already doing that a little bit already. And push it to the next level. More exercise and get back to eating healthy, which is, I've been doing that as well. Bought the flowers already. So, would you? You're never going to make me sad, mate. Thanks for exposing yourself again, though. Hey, what's the British tradition you think everyone should experience? British tradition. British tradition. What is there ain't many traditions left. Sunday lunch, because it's good for you. You know, green veg, boiled on a saucepan, carrots, healthy roast potatoes, healthy parsnips, healthy gravy. Sunday lunch, there's a decent tradition. I think that's probably our only one of our decent meals. The rest of our meals are not the best. But Sunday lunch is pretty good tradition, I'd say. And hello, Alicia. He's just here for negativity. There you go, bud. We had a word the other day, mate, so I'll be slowly doing that more and more. Woo! Too much negativity, bud. How do you view the US compared to the UK? I wouldn't know. I'm honest. I couldn't tell you. Because I used to watch TV. I used to watch movies. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies anymore. So I can't really, you know? So I couldn't judge, you know? Because your world could completely change. What I know about, what I've consumed about America, you know, which is not a lot because I watch YouTube. And YouTube sends you what you watch. Do you know what I mean? So if I watch something, it keeps sending me it to just keep me on the platform. Do you know what I mean? So my perception's quite small, you know? Colorado, but I've always been curious of the UK. I know I have cousins there. England's, I don't know how to explain England. I think people think England's a certain way and it's not. Do you know what I mean? I think England, people think England's London and it ain't. You know what I mean? London is not England. You know, I'm not even from London. I've not been there very often, but I know England's not London. Do you know what I mean? England's like where I live, you know, where I'm living now. England's not where I used to live. That's not what England's like. Where I live now, this is what England's like. Do you know what I mean? So weather's not as good as America, so you got that. You got a positive on your weather's better than ours, so you can do that. You know, your weather's better than ours. You know, so that puts you up. Your weather's that puts you down. So you're heavier. So you're like doing. Your weather's better than ours, but we're safer in nature than you are. Do you know what I mean? So I can go into the park, sit there, and I've only got to worry about squirrels, cats, some birds. You got to worry about a little bit more than birds, squirrels, and cats. You know, you got bears and snakes and alligators and crocodiles. So you got, you know, it's like that. You know. So, but I would say, but it is slightly over here a little bit. You hear people doing it. I'd say, but I could be completely wrong because I'm only going by my YouTube. Your country really doesn't really like it, but it appears that way, that you're more into your UFC. Do you know what I mean? You're into that blood, watching people get smashed, you know? We like boxing over here. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, there are UFC fans over here, but England's more in that kind of... We're still stuck, we're in that kind of traditional way of fighting, whereas you've moved more into much more seeing more blood. Do you know what I mean? I can say that, but that's because I do watch a tiny bit of UFC now and again. I don't actually watch it, but stuff comes on. Do you know what I mean? And you don't see that in our country. Do you know what I mean? Even though there is UFC stuff going on over here, it's not as kind of as elaborate as over there. But it seems to be elaborate because on the content I see on it, everything, you know, UFC Fighter, the TV show, all the podcasts, you know. Our country, that's not happening, you know what I mean? Brooklyn. Hello, Brooklyn. How are you? Hello, Janet. How are you? So yeah, that's it. That's not me judging your people, but I'm just going by what I see on my TV. My perception is coming from my YouTube. So I do notice a lot of UFC over there, a lot of blood. You're into hunting over there, you know. We're not like that here, you know. There is hunting going on, you know what I mean, but it's not like your country just seems more of that, but it could be just the content that I'm getting over there, you know. I like to see if two people want to have a fight and they want to have a fight, that's fine. They want to make money that way and feed their family by fighting. Be you. Do what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? But I think when it comes to boxing and UFC, I think the UFC rules are a little bit too open, where it's not really a sport sometimes. It just looks like it's a beating. Do you know what I mean? But that's me coming from boxing, you know, and all that, you know. So that's the only thing I can say is your weather's better. Your nature's more danger than our nature. You know what I mean? And the only thing I noticed about yours on something completely different is you seem to like the UFC, like the more blood. Our country's not quite there yet, even though they do have those sort of shows over here. It's not ingrained into people yet. Possibly the more they see it over years and years and years, it will do. I don't know. We're still a football nation. We're all about football. So, as far as I can tell, but like I said, I don't watch TV in my country, I don't watch movies in my country, and I don't really chat to anybody. So I've lost a bit of connection of my own country, I'd say. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't watch TV, so, do you know what I mean? If I was watching TV, I'd be seeing a lot more. I'd know what's going on in my country. I used to watch DIY programs in my country. You had DIY SOS, and then there was, I can't remember what the show was called, but they buy a house, they do it up. Then there was another one that they moved to a different country from England. They buy houses abroad. I used to watch a lot of that, you know. I don't watch Top of the Pops, or I don't watch football anymore. I don't watch the news. I literally don't watch none of it, you know. So I haven't really got much of a perception of what's happened in my country for the last 5 years. Do you know what I mean? So maybe my country's really into UFC all of a sudden. They like the bloodier stuff now. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me being just literally the pockets of what I can think that I know about America. You know? And that only comes from my YouTube. So I get people in here typing stuff sometimes, you know? Support this, support that. I don't know what they're on about. Do you know what I mean? Well, not really, because over here, they like football. Do you know what I mean? They just like football, which is with the foot. You know, you use your foot to kick the ball and score goals. They like it. You know what I mean? Your country's about American football, I guess. Maybe baseball, I don't know. Which is your main sport? What truly is your main sport over there? Over here, it's football. You know? Right, we've got to get a timer on that. So 1 hour minimum, that is 20 past 5. My bread's gone in. So, I don't mind the UFC, I don't mind fighting, but sometimes it looks like they need a couple of rules in it because they're just getting pounded and it's just like, you know? I think boxing's too... You know, somewhere in between boxing and UFC is the right spot for me. That's it. That's all I can say. I think the UFC is a little bit too bloody. Do you know what I mean? That's my only judgment. You got better weather. You got bigger houses. Our England's tiny little. We used to have houses like what I live in. Now they're making them even smaller. Do you know what I mean? Now, whatever reason you want to say that is, you can say that you've got a bigger land mass than us, so that's why your houses are bigger and you've got more land around your houses. You know what I mean? That's something else I noticed about America. You've got more space, you've got a bigger garden. You know, you get swimming pools because of the weather. We don't get that. Do you know what I mean? We don't get the weather enough for people to go around getting swimming pools. We don't have the weather enough. It's getting close to the weather, where we need air conditioning in the houses, but we don't need it as much as you need it. We've still got carpets in our houses, where over there I suppose you've got cold floors in some places because it's hot. But that's coming from me watching YouTube and stuff I remember from the past. Obviously, I'm only talking about UFC because I get a lot of it on there. I watch the odd mini podcast, and sometimes I see some of the edited fights, not the live fights, and I see like, oh come on man, he's just hit him 5 times. You can tell he's already out. Why are you still letting him hit him? Do you know what I mean? That's the bit I notice in the UFC a little bit. You know what I mean? I like talking and enjoying life. Me too. I like to talk. I don't know about the enjoying life bit. That's where we're getting to. We're getting to there. We're over halfway. So I'm trying to implement something else into my life. We're trying to implement a game, but it's finding the right game that I like. And then go out a bit more. I want to start going out a bit more. So problem is I ain't got any friends, so I'm going to be I do most of the stuff on my own if I'm going to go out. So there's not much you can do on your own. Can't play badminton on your own. You can't really play football on your own. Can't play pool on your own. I don't mind doing like cinema on my own. I'm going to probably go to cinema the next month, and I'll probably go little mini 10-pin bowling on my own. I don't mind going to the park on my own. I don't mind going to the water on my own. But it's hard to do some things. Like a day out. Be nice to kind of do that with somebody. Or go away for a weekend with somebody. That's a little bit some of the things I don't do. Of that student from UC. Don't British guys go to pubs to connect with people? Like, I can't drink. Like, that's what I do if I wanted to connect. Instead here we go to night bars and stuff. Yeah, I can't drink, so pubs are kind of like not really major to me anymore. So I used to spend a lot of time in pubs. It used to be one of my things, you know, to look forward to, you know. Whether that was darts on a Monday night or whether that was going to a pub. Not necessarily every Saturday, but there'd be a football game on a Saturday. And we'd go out and watch it. And it was a day out, you know, with your mates and whatnot. And you'd all get drunk, you know. Obviously I can't drink, so I don't do those things anymore. I don't watch TV, I don't watch football anymore, so I don't connect that way. I don't want to watch football again anyway. I've had too much of a gap with football. I think once you're in football and you stay in football, and if you have, say, a 5-year gap, 7-year gap, you go back into it, you don't know anybody. They've all retired. They're now pundits. It's very weird. Do you know what I mean? You don't know any of the new players, so you don't have that connection. So I don't think I'll ever be into football again. But it might creep up on me. One day I might get a TV and I might start watching a bit of football. You never know. Yeah, I had to stop. I am British. Coldest kid. How are you, mate? Coolest kid or coldest kid? Coldest. Hi, mate. So, I'd like to be able to drink, but got to look after my body. I do some else, but that's more related to sleep. But I'd much rather be able to have a drink. Because then I can do things like that. I can go out, have a game of pool, you know, and then you can join a pool team. You can join a darts team. You can join a crib team. I don't want to join I don't want to join something social in a pub when I'm always going to be surrounded by booze on my social moment. I can handle it, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to be going out once a week to darts, once a week to a pool when I can't have a drink. That's just too much, you know, when everybody else is having a beer. Especially when you're playing competitive, because when you're playing competitive, a couple of beers can relax you a little bit and let you play a bit better. I think it would frustrate me if I was playing something competitive and I know I can play a bit better when I've had a couple of beers in me, because I'm a little bit more relaxed. So yeah, just got to figure out what to do. I had an inflamed liver, and then I had an injury in my liver, and then the injury in my liver was just, I got cramp in my leg now. You know what I mean? So, and I don't drink. That come from eating unhealthy sugar last night, because I was doing some of that to get me to go to sleep, which I'm pretty close to getting off of that. I just did 30 days without having it, and my sleep was starting to improve. I noticed it. That's the first time in 5 years of doing that I'd noticed my sleep might be able to get okay again without using that. You know what I mean? So I kind of crossed the boundary on thinking I might need to use this stuff to get me to sleep for the rest of my life. But I did 60 days at the beginning of the year without it. I did 15 days in between the beginning of the year, and I did 30 days literally 3 weeks ago without it, and I started noticing my sleep was starting to work. So I was getting dreams again, and I had a couple of 7-hour sleeps in 1 week, so that was nice. I was like, ooh, maybe this could change. I can get more. So now I get a bit more energy. So yeah. I got two boys, 2 sons, and I can't have a drink with them. In England, it's quite a, it shouldn't be that way, but it's like go out for a beer, gonna go out and get drunk, gonna go out and have a beer with my kids, gonna go out with my sons tonight and have a beer. Can't do it. Do you know what I mean? It's a wee bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Yeah. I don't love to smoke it though. I regret it. It was somebody giving me it years ago. I was quitting booze at a time. I was quitting milk at a time. I was quitting sugar at a time. I was doing a lot of organic stuff. I was doing a lot of what you call it? I don't know. Loads of healthy stuff. Yeah, really healthy with my body. Quitting coffee, I think, at the time. Quitting milk. I can't remember if I said that. But I was stressed, and I was chatting to somebody over the phone. Obviously, unloading some of my stress over a period of, say, a year. And then he just one day come round and give me pot. He said, you need that. You know what I mean? And I would have never bought it. I would have never done it. I would have never bought it. I used it one night when I was stressed. And I went to sleep like that. Instead of sitting there for 4 hours trying to get to sleep and like being stressed, I went to sleep like that. And it crept in and I was like, well, I need to go to sleep. I'm feeling stressed, like depressed, you know, because I'm not with my family. And I took it, and then I took it again, and it helped me sleep, and then within about 6 months, it ruined my sleep. I was getting like, going to sleep for 3 hours, waking up at say 1 AM in the morning, and struggling to get back to sleep for 3 hours. Then I was finding out, if I used it the second time, it would get me sleep the second time, then I'd wake up after 4 hours. So I would get 7 hours sleep, I'd have to do that stuff twice in one night, and then end up, it's ruined my sleep. Do you know what I mean? My body's not making what it needs to make to get me to sleep. But recently I didn't do it for 30 days, and I noticed I started having a couple of okay sleeps. So I was thinking, I didn't have the confidence that I could get my sleep back, but I think I can get my sleep back, so I'm going to try and get off of it again for not using it on my sleep. Whatever I was using last year, I'm losing nearly half what I was using last year. You know what I mean? So it's definitely decreasing its pull on me. I can't read that. I've smoked up once and I didn't like it either. That's the thing, see that? I would have never done it. I'm in the middle of cutting down on my coffee. I was overdoing my coffee because I was waking up at the wrong times. Yeah. It's I never get insanely dependent on anything I do, but I do end up getting a bit dependent. Do you know what I mean? So I was a bit dependent on booze, but I never drank it in the day. Do you know what I mean? And the weed, I got dependent for me sleep, and I don't do it in the day. I just do it around the kind of sleepy time. you know. But I went 30 days with it not long ago, and I was like, because I was kind of, I don't know how to put it. I'm sitting there thinking I need it all the time, need it to go to sleep, need it to go, giving it power. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't do it for 30 days, and I started sleeping, and I think it took a bit of the power away that I think it had on me. Do you know what I mean? Once I can get I now have a bit of faith. I have a bit of, there's possibility I can get off this. I don't need this for my sleep. This is good. This is good. I finally found a little light. Let's call it a tiny little light. Do you know what I mean? So I don't do it due to whatever. If I ever did, when I do get off of it, I'm going to say it positively. When I do get off of it for sleep, I possibly might use it once a week or something. You know what I mean? But it was more to sleep. It was for the sleep. I found it helped me get sleep, then it ruined my sleep. Plus it blocks your dreams. Do you know what I mean? Your dreams are important for processing things. So we said 20 past for that stuff. So yeah, that's where I am. Yeah, you need to get off the weed. It block your dreams, man. You need to get your dreams back. You're processing stuff when you're dreaming, apparently. So you need to get your dreams back. I've done it. I didn't do it for 30 days, and I started getting my dreams back. Started having a couple of dreams. Well, not straight away. It took me maybe about a week, and I noticed I had a couple of. You don't remember it. See, it's a weird thing. It was like I was up for 3 hours. I'm not doing it. Yeah. I'm awake for 3 hours. I'm doing something in the kitchen, and then I have a pop up in my head. I was a dream I had. I had a dream last night, did I? You know what I mean? It just come to me. I was like, oh yeah, I had a dream. On the stuff, none of that. Blank. No dreams. No dreams. No dreams. No dreams. You get a micro bit now and again, but you're so darkened because I find the stuff quite heavy. I find it very heavy. I don't think it's as natural as it should be. Do you know what I mean? I think they've overdosed it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, get off of it, man. I've been using some stuff which kind of helped. Where is it? That. So. Rescue Night. It's a back flower remedy. It's all natural. It's all flower essences or something. So I found that helps me get to sleep a little bit. So I've got something when I'm struggling. But we're going to try again this week. Have a look. Brother never gets dreams yet. If you're on it, you won't get many dreams. Get off it. Dreams are important. I watched a video the other day explaining about you process stuff, so your dreams are important. Because you're not processing stuff. Me and him are still close, but he constantly smokes out. Yeah, I find it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do is buy, there's this stuff I can buy. I think it's got too much THC in it nowadays. I think they've overdone it. I don't know, I'm not an expert on this shit. But there's something I can buy, medicinal, and it comes in a pipe, I think. But they can lower the amount of THC, so it could just be for my sleep, you know? Then it maybe doesn't give me that heavy feeling. Because since I've been doing it for, say, 2 weeks now, 3 weeks, I've not been doing my game streams properly. I've not wanted to do a drawing, a picture. I've not gone to the park as much. I've not ridden my bike as much. So it's kind of taken a bit of my energy. So I know it's not good for me. Because some people say it makes you lazy, it makes you not do nothing. I'm not doing nothing, but I understand what that means. It makes you just sit around a bit. It makes you, because I'm not exercising as much as I was. I am not going to the park as much as I was. I'm not doing, you might not understand this, but I'm not doing my chapters or my timestamps. I've stopped playing 3 of the games. I've bought a new game, but I've only played that twice this week. So I'm not being very creative. That's why I do this. This gives me a bit of creativity. I'm making some food and it's helping me eat some healthy food because I'm eating some sugar, because obviously that shit gives you the munchies, doesn't it? I'm going to beat it. I now know I can beat it. Those 30 days that I did a month ago, and I actually got some dreams and I got some sleep on a few occasions, I realised I can beat it. Whereas the first time I did it in the beginning of the year, I had 60 days without it. And I think I had maybe 3 7-hour sleeps in that 60 days. The rest of it was 5 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. But then I've tried to do it again. I think I've weakened its hold on me. Whereas I give it too much power. I think I was like, I needed it, I need it, I need it, I need it. Now I know I don't need it, but I do need it a little bit. I'm in that kind of zone now. But I would love to try it where it is purely natural. You know, what nature intended it to be. You know, God, what God intended it to be. The natural strength, not what they do to it. I don't know what they do to it. You know, being grown out in actual sunlight. Being grown via water that falls from the sky. Not from a tap, you know? And I don't know if they edit them and make them stronger on the THC. I'm not too strong on understanding all that shit. But that's where I am at the moment. I've noticed I've stopped doing my games that I was doing, my timestamps, my chapters, a couple of thumbnails I was putting up, streaming it every night of the week in a kind of business-like mentality, but not too businessy. I've stopped going to the park as much, I've stopped riding my bike as much, and that's since I've been doing that stuff. And I'm only doing it at the end of the night, and I'm doing a very small amount. I couldn't tell you how much, but it's nowhere near what I used to do. It demotivates you. Yeah, it does in a way. I think I can understand where you're coming from with that, because I remember years ago when I first did it, very small amounts, because I hadn't built up any resilience to it. I was playing my games years ago and I wanted to think of content, yeah? And I kept having these creative ideals when I was doing it, because I would do it at the end of the night to go to sleep after I finished my stream. And I had these little creative ideals come to me. Do you know what I mean? I don't get that now. Do you know what I mean? I think I've gone beyond that. I think I've used it for too long, where it's kind of killed that bit off, you know? I'd say I use more now than what I did at the beginning. But I genuinely believe if I only did it once a week, maybe I'd be a bit more creative on it, because it'll only be once a week and it'd be that. It won't be in my system as much. You know? Apparently it takes 30 days to get out of your system. You don't want to, I wouldn't do it in a day. I don't like the dizzy feeling. Kind of like you're slightly off balance, you know? I've had to go over the road a couple of times to get something from the shop, and I don't even like crossing the road on it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas booze, 1 beer, doesn't do anything to you. 2 beers doesn't really do much. 3 starts to do something, and I can cross the road on 1 beer. I can cross the road on 2 beers. I can cross the road possibly on 3 beers. But when I'm on that, only a little bit of it, and I'm like, hang on, I got to triple check, man. Is that car coming? Is there a car? Hang on, can I go? Can't I go? Do you know what I mean? Hang on, I actually feel unsafe. So I try not to do that. We're going to try again this week. So I've got a meeting tomorrow. So I need to use it tonight to get me asleep, because I thought my meeting was Tuesday. So I got to use it tonight just to make sure I don't miss this meeting. Yeah, possibly. I believe it's like an energy thing. You let it have too much of you, it takes over you a bit, you know? You become in its energy, you know? I think it's a medicine. I think it's a plant, but it's also it can be problematic. I think if you use it in small doses, I think it's fine for you. But I think with the way I've been using it over the years now to try and get to sleep, it's ruined my sleep a bit. but I do believe I've improved some of my sleep. So I think I've allowed that to take over what my body should have been doing. I can never get to sleep easily anyway, but I never used to wake up. Once I went to sleep, I'd wake up the next day, you know? Now I'm waking up 3 hours later, 4 hours later. Sometimes I go to sleep earlier because I've done it. I might be in bed at 11 and be asleep by 12. And then I wake up and I feel kind of slightly refreshed, and it's only 2 in the morning. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh no. But at least I can go, well, if it takes me 3 hours to get back asleep, it's only 5 a.m. And then I can still get up at a decentish time. Yeah, I wouldn't do it that much. You need to vibe out on your own though, you know? You need to feel the world yourself, you know? Don't rely on that to vibe you. That's where I've got to it a little bit. I used it, my mum passed 3 years ago. I didn't see her for 7 years, just got to see her, and then she was, within the 6 weeks, it was all 2 months, and I don't see her anymore, you know, permanently. So I buried my head in that for X amount of months until the funeral. I think that caused me a problem. Because now I look at it not just for sleep, I also look for it to feel something, or feel connected, or feel calm. Like I used to be able to listen to spiritual music. I'll just call it, some music would be like really beautiful and I'd love it, and that was without it. Now I find myself sometimes using it to feel that way, which is not good. You shouldn't have to use that to feel that way. Do you know what I mean? So I know that's not a good thing, because I was being able to listen to those sorts of songs and enjoy the spiritualness in the song. Do you know what I mean? Now I find I got to use the stuff to feel that, which is not good. So I know I need to get it out of my system to start feeling that way. I think it's a bit heavy. Like I said, if it was a proper one, a natural one or something like that, maybe that don't happen. I don't know. I'm no expert on the stuff. I just got fucked off and not been able to sleep sometimes, and or I have some bad nights now and again, and I use it to make me listen to a song and make me feel a bit better. Whereas I should just be able to listen to the song and it should make me feel better, but it doesn't quite work that way anymore. I've just overused it, I think. But I'm not like, I don't use it in the day. OG Kush, I don't know what that is. Caffeine, I'm just slowly cutting down my caffeine now. I've got a thing, I'm filming it as well. I'm on organic caffeine. I was drinking about 7 a day, now I'm down to about 4, and I'm not allowing myself to have caffeine after 5, but I am having decaffeinated. And then slowly, one of the days that happened this week, I was coming over here in a habitual way to make a coffee, and I stood there for a second, I thought, do I actually want a coffee, or am I just being habitual? So I sort of read my feelings. I was like, I'm not urging one, I'm not having one. Do you know what I mean? So I'm slowly winging my way back off the coffee. Quit smoking, quit milk, quit meat quite a bit. I eat more healthier now. Once I get rid of the weed out of my continual use, I think my vibe will go up a little bit. I'll start enjoying music again. I'll start enjoying going to the park again. Because I think it is draining me a little bit, but not majorly, because I don't do anywhere near as much as what I used to do. You know? We burnt. If we got this oven hotter because of the bread, we burnt our parsnips again. What's that? Because it's hard to explain, because it's like you get wired up, but it's because it's like you get wired up, but it's still like being sober, or you think it's considered a high. I definitely say it's a high, definitely, yeah. When you're not feeling the high, your obviously resilience is built up too much. You know what I mean? definitely a high. Not the same high as booze. It's a different high. I'd say it's more spiritual. Booze is non-spiritual. I don't remember ever feeling a little bit spiritual on booze, ever. Not once. Felt more outgoing, you know, more talkative or more braver or on booze. But weed is definitely kind of a high on a small amount, but if you're starting to use it regularly, I don't think it's a high anymore. I think it's part of your system now. It's not a high anymore. It's not a high moment. It's not a high feeling because you're always using it. Do you know what I mean? But that's me. Are you going to make... I can't read it. Don't know what you're on about there, Dis. I'm cooking my food. I'm making some... Whatever my title says is what I'm doing. I think it says bread and Sunday lunch. I've slightly burnt my parsnips, but it'll be alright. Once I soften them up with some gravy. No, I won't be doing that. I don't know how much less I'm using now. My coffee consumption's depleted in the last week because I've been working on it, and the weed consumption's depleted in the last 3 months because I've been working on it. When I'm not on it, I've had to force myself. To buy this flour. I don't actually want to do it, but I know I need to do it. It's like make my own cakes, so I don't eat natural, real sugar, you know, because it's not good for you. So I need to make my own stuff, so it's a little bit healthier for me. And I've not been wanting to do it, and I forced myself to buy the 2 flours the other day. It took me ages to build up to do it, and that's that stuff, I reckon. It's just demotivated me a little bit, you know. Whereas a month ago, when I was off of it, I was over at my son's house doing his bathroom. I went over a friend's house and put a cupboard up for her. Before that, I was doing a little bit of DIY for my dad. And I was riding my bike. I was going to the park at least. I stopped riding my bike because I was doing my work at my son's bathroom for him. So that put me a bit busy. So I didn't have a chance to ride my bike. But all of a sudden, I'm back on it and I've stopped doing a few of the things, you know what I mean? Finding myself, I'm having to push myself to do silly little things like get that flour, which is good for me. But that's my experience, you know. I read myself, you know what I mean. I'm honest with myself. I can't, buddy. Sorry. Meditate. I can't meditate. I got a bit of trauma. Can't go to sleep because it's quiet. And meditation, quiet. Get off the stuff, get my body to naturally get its natural tiredness, get some exercise in, that make you tired as well, and just keep that cycle going, do you know what I mean? And then use my energy to build the stuff that I want to build for me, that I've not got the energy to do. I don't know if I want to do it anymore, but Just keep going forward, innit? Keep trying again. Hello, Professor Adams. We were just talking about weed because somebody talked about weed. So I'm in the middle of doing my Sunday lunch and I'm making a loaf of bread that I made the other day that didn't turn out very well. So we're making it again in a slightly hotter oven, slightly longer. And we've added an extra ingredient in it, which is supposed to change the texture a bit, but we'll see. Must be bloody. Hold up. Why did the British egg go to the pub? Because it heard they served extraordinary tea. Tea. That used to be a thing about England. We used to be tea drinkers. Now we've turned into coffee drinkers, it looks like. We used to be a nation of tea drinkers. Now it looks like they're a nation of coffee drinkers. Veg done? Yeah, but tea time is this. Well, it's now 5 o'clock. This is classed as tea time. That means we're going to eat our food. That's what tea time, they use the word in our country for. Tea time for us is like 5 p.m. eating our tea. You might call it dinner. You know? We call dinner time. And we call this time tea time. So we eat our food. I guess it originated from drinking a cup of tea, but we call it tea time. Right, it's tea time! Tea time! Tea time! And then you sit down and eat your meal. Weird. Does anybody's language make sense? bit of organic gravy. Something they say over here. Whether people are using it the right way, it's just something they say. It's tea time. Well, my mum used to say it. It's tea time. It's tea time. And I never sat down next to that table and had a cup of tea on it. It was always tea time. It was food. It was food time. It's tea time. It's tea time. Tea's on the table, she used to say. Your tea's on the table. You go in there, it'll be food. Your tea's on the table. Your tea's on the table. That's it. Your tea's on the table. What do you want for tea? Oh, Mum, what's for tea tonight? Chicken curry. Alright, what's for tea tonight, Mum? Gammon, steak and eggs. And chips. What's for tea tonight, Mum? Fish and chips. What's for tea tonight, Mum? Casserole. What's for tea tonight, Mum? What's the other one? Toad in the hole. What else? What's for tea tonight, Mum? Spaghetti bolognese. She used to make it all mine. She wouldn't buy anything out of a box, rarely. It would always be made. Your tea's on the table. You want to check the UK out? What's that? I want to check out the UK, but heard some places can be anywhere dangerous. Where I was for 5 years, I'm literally 80 meters away from a place that is well known for being, it's not, you know, I don't like saying anything negative about any area. I used to live near an area that's well known for that, you know, you could say that about any country. I'd say your country is probably more dangerous than our country, because, you know, you never know who's got a gun. Over here, not everybody's got a gun, because you've got to have a license, you know what I mean? That's not me putting down your laws. I'm not trying to get involved in that shit, you know what I mean? But over here, I haven't got to worry about somebody doing with me with a gun, do you know what I mean? I still got to worry about, you know, things, you know, but I haven't got to worry about the gun so much, you know? Whereas your country, you've got to worry about the fucking wildlife and the fucking people that's got guns, do you know what I mean? But it's a bit more stressy in your country, isn't it? Over here, you can have a bit of road rage. You can maybe have a fist fight. You might see the odd baseball bat. Yeah? You won't see a gun come out of the car. You know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about the guy who's got a concealed weapon, a concealed gun. You know what I mean? When I watch some of the stuff that you see on the YouTube, all the fighting, those people are out there filming it instead of bloody stopping it. Do you know what I mean? And I keep seeing, I think, come on, man, how do you know you ain't got a gun? Because I'd be like, no, I don't know, you might have a gun. You might have a gun. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm not doing it. You might have a gun. Fuck that. I don't know who's got a gun. Yeah, I'm not getting involved in your laws. I don't want to get too political on here. But I haven't got to worry about that as much. Do you know what I mean? You can get a gun over here legally and people can get them illegally, don't get me wrong. But over there, it's just, you just go into places, don't you? You just buy them, don't you? You know what I mean? Well, let's put it this way, if there's a zombie apocalypse, our country's fucked, yours isn't, because you've got some guns. we have to be a bit elaborate over here. We have to barricade a pub, get some pool cues, hope that there is a Winchester above the bar. It's a movie, I'm just making fun. We have to use golf clubs over here and pool cues and cricket bats and frisbees. Yeah, you get that anywhere rioting, but over your country, you got a lot of people got guns. You know what I mean? We get riots over here due to whatever reasons they're fighting. Like I said, I don't watch TV anymore, news, so I don't know exactly what they're fighting about sometimes. I don't buy newspapers anymore, so I did buy newspapers for about 3 years straight because I wanted to do a crossword every day because I wasn't doing nothing. So I was trying to learn how to do Sudoku. That took me about 3 weeks to learn how to do that, and then I started doing that for about a year. Then I started trying to learn how to do a crossword because I wasn't very good with my words, so I thought I'd do crosswords, and I stopped doing all that because of my mum, or I wanted to do more with my life, and then my mum stopped me doing all that. So I don't know what's happening in the world. I don't buy a paper. Well, generally don't know. Well, we burnt this. We're going to hide it in the gravy. Then we're going to make them, turn them over so the burnt bits at the bottom. Well, that one looks a bit hard, that one. It's not be easy to hide that one. These are hard. These are definitely burnt. I forgot, these are more like fries, so they cook a bit quicker, don't they? I never thought that. Plus my oven is a little bit hot because I got the bread in there, so I got to figure that out as well. Yeah, cricket bats. If you never watched Shaun of the Dead, if you want to understand what I'm on about, watch Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is a movie with Simon Pegg, I think his name is. Can't remember his name. Shaun of the Dead. You'll know what I'm on about then. That's what we have to do in a zombie apocalypse, and you don't usually find a Winchester rifle in any pub in England. That's a very rare thing. So without that gun, they would have been screwed. They would have had to rely on their golf clubs, cricket bats, and pool cues. Good movie, worth a watch. Finish up washing up some of this stuff. Cricket bats and stuff like that. Hang on, what have I missed? Seeing things done that. So why not use grease off your hair as an eco-friendly alternative to cooking with oil? It's actually coconut oil. So it's a very good lubricant. Very, very healthy coconut oil for you. Thank you for adding to the channel. Talking about coconut oil. We're bringing up coconut oil now. You're welcome. Thank you for helping the channel. I appreciate it. I like to wash up all my stuff, and when I finish my food, I've only got to wash my plate up. I don't know why I'm like that, but I like to get this out of the way now. I want to go and eat my food, but I like this to be out of the way so I haven't got to spend 5 minutes here in a minute. Right, that's that done. Where is my stuff gone? There it is. Coconut oil, baby. Woo. It blurs out a bit, doesn't it? To me, I can't read that according to the camera, but that says coconut oil. Put some more on, just for you. It smells lush as well. I washed my hair with organic avocado. I can't remember what else it's got in it. Avocado something and something. I conditioned it, and I'm using some coconut oil today. And I use some. Is it called Orbus? No, it's not Orbus oil, is it? What's it called? Some ultra moist conditioner. What's in it? Avocado and olive oil. Organic. And I love the smell of this. This is lush. Almond drops. Vitamin E, I think. Yeah, vitamin E. 6 times vitamin E. So, look after your hair, people. And I got a water filter on my shower head to filter the water. I'll admit it's a bit old, it needs replacing. I was hoping to replace it, but I think I just got to buy a new one because I've lost the instructions. Wasting a bit of gas then. Whoops. Get some healthy Celtic salt on the go, people. Bit of not healthy ground pepper, it's a cheap one. And the best bit, this is the best bit, people, okay? No country can beat us on this. I don't care what any of you say. Right? I don't care if you're American, you're Swahili, Australian. You ain't beating us when it comes to this. Never gonna be beaten when it comes to this. You tell my emotion and my passion about this. Many thanks whoever dropped the thumbs up. I appreciate it. The problem is it's running out, so I need to get a bigger knife. There you go, people. There it is. You can see it. Look at that yellow stuff, people. That's called English mustard, okay? You ain't touching it. It's the best in the world, okay? You can never, ever, ever beat English mustard, okay? Alright? One of the reasons I like eating this. Am I dropping gravy down here? Feels like I'm dropping tiny bits of water. Many thanks for the extra thumbs up, I appreciate it. Right, we got another 5 to 10 minutes for the bread, so I might as well eat my food here. Let's put my light on. Five-second rule. Pick it up within 5 seconds, it's good for you. Don't quote me on that one. It's my floor. Like I said, they're only cheap Sprouts. But I know it's better for me than a chocolate bar. Bit of English mustard. Bit burnt, but hey. I know the purple broccoli is better for me, but I kind of prefer normal broccoli because it's just the bug. But I know this is really good for me, so I put up with eating the stalk bit to get to the leafy bit, whatever you call it. Got purple cabbage and purple broccoli. Now, meatless sausage. It's a meatless sausage. Caramelized onions. It is fucking nice. I don't rarely say that about like meat replacement stuff, but it's lush. I mean, they are lush. Absolutely lush. I never need to eat pork ever again. Never need to buy a sausage ever again. I can't find a burger though. I can't find a meat replacement burger that I like yet. They're all vile. When I don't eat that, when I don't do that stuff, I'm more healthier. I start eating fruit and shit. Do you know what I mean? I've stopped eating fruit all of a sudden in the last 3 weeks. So I'm gonna get off that shit and get back to eating some pineapple, blueberries and strawberries. A bit more of the sausage. You don't know how nice this sausage is. People would be amazed if they tasted it. Wow, that's actually quite nice. I love the surprise on people's faces when they've never tried things. And then when you get them to try it, they're like, that's actually quite nice. I've had this preconceived idea in my head it would be horrible all my life. No, it's actually nice. But the problem is we don't try things, do we? If we're stuck in our ways, we're habitual. I just accidentally pick up my dad's cup of tea now and again, and he had no sugar in it, and it tasted vile because I was used to having 3 sugars. I was like, I can never drink that. Then I finally quit sugar in my teas and coffees. It took me about 2 months, and I don't notice that I haven't got sugar anymore. I actually enjoy my coffees. Just a habitual programmed mind, an habitual programmed taste bud. Carrots are good, organic. Asparagus is boring, but it's good for you. So we're eating it. It's a bit of greens and it's good for me. I used to have cauliflower, but it's not that good for you. It's pretty much empty in its nutrients, or so say. Don't quote me. I watched a video on it once, and she said it's pretty much got no nutrients in it. Hence it's white. But don't quote me on that. Always check your own facts, people. Don't trust a YouTube video. Don't be led, be inspired. What I'm doing is missing my own garden, and I could grow a couple of things. I got all these little herb pots, but I got to put them all on my windows. That window's impossible to get to. This one's already got a load of shit in it as it is. I need a garden. I'm no green fingered person, but I would like to attempt to grow some of my own stuff and see if it would become, what's the right word? Oh shit, what's the word? Kind of had the quarter of it and I lost it. When you, what's the word? When you make your own shit and you live on it. Can't think of the word. Sustainable. You could sustain some of your own foods. Because I'm always having a Sunday lunch once or twice a week. A roast. So if I can grow my own carrots or cabbage. Tomatoes, I use a lot of tomatoes. If I can grow my own tomatoes, if I can grow my own sweet potatoes. I haven't been eating my cabbage, there's loads of it left. We've got some new shorts, new underwear, new t-shirts to wear. Then we've got to do our tracksuit bottoms this week. And our bedding. And then that's another chore gone. All we got to do then is exercise a bit more. Force myself to play this game a couple of hours every night. Maybe saying I can't do it. You need 3 timestamps to do it. So I won't be able to make 3 timestamps. I don't know how I can do that. I'd have to play another game. I'm just not vibing the games at the moment. I'm sitting on a stream over there. It's dead. Didn't get. I had 3 views last night. And one of them's mine. These sausages are lush. Let's have a look at this bread. That is an extra 5 minutes. But I have opened the oven a few times, so that could affect it. I don't know. I don't care about opening the oven when I'm doing my Sunday lunch, but that's where it is at the moment. We're going to give it longer. This time we didn't spread it out in the tray. We put it into its just this raw shape. I'm more interested in the texture today and the taste. So I want it to be a bit bigger, so it's a longer piece, if that makes sense. Well, we washed our worktops up, washed our hob area last night, we vacuumed our hallway today, we vacuumed this floor here, we vacuumed that bit over there, it's a bit cleaner over there now, so we're not like over inspired to clean, and we need to, so we just do potters now and again, and eventually one day you get there. I cleaned something there last week, well about 3 weeks ago, and it's ended up getting all messy again, so eventually I'll get there. We got rid of the jigsaw, but we're going to be bringing the jigsaw back in soon. We've got a 500 piece jigsaw to do. We just got to get the other one put up on the wall. So that's something I've got to try and push myself into buying the kit for the jigsaw, so I can put the other jigsaw in a frame, and then I can start doing the other jigsaw. So I've stated that I'm going to start doing it in November. So then between November and, what's it called? December, I'll be doing a jigsaw on some of the streams. So I probably won't be cooking. I'll be cooking in the background and streaming the jigsaw again. Right, so that's that washed up. Might as well wash my tongue up. Wash this fork out. We've got our coconut washing up liquid now, people. check the bread. Right. And try and make sure no food goes down the bloody drain, because it's been getting blocked a lot. There we go. Let's have a look at this bread. That is 1 hour and 10 minutes. So right, I cut a tiny piece off now. I think it's still too hot. It's still moist again. I say it's moist. A bit longer. That's 1 hour and 10 minutes. It's not as moist as it was yesterday, so the extra 10 minutes have helped. Don't forget, I'm kind of using the oven and opening it and shutting it, so I'm losing some heat, I'm guessing. I'm going to try it with a bit of butter now. Change a little bit. Change a little bit, but not a lot. It's still got a bit of the taste that I had yesterday I didn't like, but it's not as strong. And it's cooked a bit better than it was yesterday, but I'm putting it in for another 10 minutes, so that'd be 80 minutes. Like, and the bit I just ate then just felt a bit undercooked. It was doing alright for a bit on the edge. And I just put my mouth a bit on the thicker stuff. And it felt a little bit that taste I had yesterday. Right, let's unplug that. So, I think it's a bit easier there, using it in the window like that. We'll wait the 10 minutes, let the bread go a little bit longer. So, many thanks for them thumbs up though. Trying to find me shorts. We've got to wait a bit longer. We're going to do this, we're going to let this bread have another 10 minutes. And it's had 80 minutes. I think the next time we cook it, we'll not cook our Sunday lunch in there as well, because we opened the oven up at least 4 times, I would say. So how much heat did I lose? Plus we've got the bread on the bottom of the oven, which would make difference, wouldn't it, if I had it at the top. So we'll give it its 10 minutes and then we'll go over to the shop and whatever. It's raining. I like the rain. It's just not good when you want to ride a bike. I haven't got a mud guard. I might be able to get a mud guard. My ass won't get wet. Maybe it's time to look into... I need to get some new lights for my bike because they broke. I spent a lot of money on my last lights because the first ones broke. So I thought, well, I'll spend like at least 35 quid this time. Fucking things broke within like a month. Proper set as well, mine. Took me about half an hour just to sit it on the bloody handlebars. I had to put screwdrivers in and everything. Proper get up, set up it was. I got like 2 lights that go forward. And I got 4 lights that do full beam forward. And I got this little flashing mode. It's fucking big, mine. It's that long. It's a proper off-road torch light thing. You can like see certain far, like 80 metres in front of, well, maybe not 80 metres, but 50 metres in front of you, it'll brighten it up. Obviously you don't want a blind car, so I tilt it. And the thing let water in within a month and broke the one that I used the most. Around about now, the colour of the sky, you know, it's like, what time is it now? 6 PM. This is when I might ride my bike. Maybe it'll get a little bit darker, but that's it. I'd ride my bike around. And you can have that little light on at the bottom, which is just enough for cars to see you. The light, I don't know what you call it. The dipped light. Fucking water went in there and broke it within a month. Spent 35 quid on the thing. How much have you got to spend on a set of bloody bike lights to actually get them to function? Does anything function out there? Do you know what I mean? I can literally put on one hand what I'd recommend, the stuff that I've bought in the last 10 years. I would recommend the microphone I used to use. Excellent microphone for £50. What else? My little coffee hot plate, 20 quid, still working, 4 years down the line, 5 years down the line. I'd recommend that. I can't really recommend much else, because everything else breaks. Anything else I can recommend? Around me? Not really, no. Nope. 2 things so far. Can I think anything else? Right, so look at this bread. That's got to be about 10 minutes, hasn't it? Right. So we've cooked it a bit longer now. That's all we can do. So that's just... I would still say it's got that kind of moist look about it. Like undercooked look. I don't know what to do. And how long has it got to go in for? It says an hour. I'm like 80 minutes. Still got that moist look about it. We're rubbing butter on it. It's better. Next time I cook it, I'm going to put it at a higher heat and maybe cook it on its own. Don't open it. It's better than yesterday's, and we still haven't put salt in it yet. So there's loads of little bits we can put in it to make it taste its change its taste. Oh my gosh. It definitely looks better. That's better than yesterday's. Definitely needs to cook longer. Possibly just need to go hotter. So maybe we'll put it at 250 next time because my oven's a bit crap. And we'll look at adding some extra ingredients. Apparently you can add a sweetener to it. You can add, what's it called? Cinnamon, salt, loads of stuff. So I'll figure out what I could put in there that might just give it, take the edge off of it. There's something in there I don't like. Maybe it's just undercooked. But that's going to, I'm only cutting it about that thin. So if it was like that thick and I wanted it to be a piece of bread, so I want to make it into like, I want to make it into a piece of bread. I'm only doing a small amount at the moment. Eventually I want to have like that tin. Where is the tin? The tin, but the bread like humped up so I can cut right down into it and get some slices of bread out to make a sandwich. So I would have to probably do double the amount that I'm doing to be able to make that loaf of bread. And I'd probably make one every 2 weeks. And then it'd be the cakes and the cookies every 2 weeks. And I'm kind of there. I've just got to learn how to make a couple more meals. Be alright. Right. 5 years now. I'm about to go. It's alright. I've got to go over the road. It's not raining. we've done our bread. We've missed the bread. You know, have a look at the bread. We've missed the dinner. Just made that with golden linseed, and we've used a little bit of Sicilian husk in it. 1 tablespoon of Sicilian husk, and we've just added water and cooked it for 80 minutes. My oven's not very hot, so it's supposed to be done for an hour. So it actually does look like bread. It's just got a slight funny taste, so we might try a bit of salt next time. We're going to research it, and then figure out if I can make my own beans. No. You're live? I know I'm live. Right, I'm off, people. Many thanks for the thumbs up. Many thanks for the watch time. Catch you later. Have a good day. Ciao.